Hey guys, it's your girl Kendell Lenice. Welcome to Conversations. I'm so happy that you guys are here with me once again on this Friday evening. I hope everyone had an amazing week. I did. Did you?
I did.
Okay, that's wonderful. That's always good when you can go through the week and everything is all good. Okay. As you guys know, or if this is the first time you're tuning in, again, my name is Kendell Lenice. I am a life coach. I'm a motivational speaker, and I'm a certified financial coach, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I wear many hats. But my main goal, my main job is just to inspire and uplift and encourage people. So that's really what my show is about. I want to share the testimonies of everyone who is a guest on my show, and I just want to talk about their journeys, whatever that may be. So I am an advocate. I'm an advocate of living your passion and inspiring others through your gift and abilities. All of us have a gift to share with this world. I truly believe that. Powerful lyrics and music is what my guest has to give you this evening. So I'm thrilled to have Jewel Dion.
Thank you.
I just want to make sure I said your name right.
Yes, that was correct.
And it's one L. I know I had I had two L's, and I realized that is one L. Jewel.
That's correct.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I put that out there. She's a songwriter, a singer. I had the pleasure of meeting her, and we were just trying to figure out when.
That's right.
About a month ago. So I know I talked about the play that I was in, and I ended up directing.
Exactly.
That's where I met her, and when I heard her voice, I kept telling her, I was like, wow, I love the texture and tone of your voice. You have like that jazzy, sultry,
yes,
chill kind of voice. So I named the show Soul Clap, the love of music, or for the love of music. And that's the first thing that I thought of. Then I looked up the definition. I was like, oh, those are not the definitions that I know of soul clap. In the 90s, do you know about soul clap?
No, I don't.
Okay, so in the 90s, it like a lot of I don't want to say neo soul, but a lot of the chilled music. There was this group called Terry and Monica, two girls, and they used to just have that. It was like, give me a soul clap, and then just that whole kind of chill vibe where they rode over the music.
Right.
So when I think about your voice, that's what I think about. So like a soulful, powerful voice. So that's why I said that. So I know you're probably like, well, what is soul clap?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
You have a very melodic sound. So welcome to Conversations.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
And
I
thank you.
appreciate it.
Good. I'm glad you're here.
I know.
really am.
I'm so excited. I've been telling everybody about it, so hopefully you're watching.
I hope everyone is watching Jewel, because you are in for a treat. And she's going to sing for us a little later, so I'm really psyched about that.
Yes.
I wanted to ask her beforehand because I didn't want to put her on the spot and be like, sing. But true singers do that.
We do.
And they just sing.
We'll just pull something out of the sky.
Right. So she, as I said, she sang in the play and she blew everyone away. And she sang, not even acoustic, you just sang a cappella. And you tore that thing to shreds.
Actually, that's kind of how I started, though.
Really?
I sung a cappella. It was me and my sister, and we would be in the house, and we would harmonize together, and we would do those things for fun.
Oh, wow.
So singing a cappella, even when I started going to open mics and things, I sang a cappella. I didn't have anybody playing with me. I was just very comfortable in that space.
Wow. And you seem like it. You seem like it's just second nature to just sing.
It's pretty much first nature, to be honest. I wake up singing, I go through my day singing, and I go to sleep singing.
So I do too, but the thing is about me and you, the difference is you can sing, I can't. I always say I write the songs that make the whole world sing, but I can't sing.
That's all right. I need that too.
All right, see? And I've been pumped up before, like, oh, girl, you can sing, but I know my limits.
That's all right. That's all right.
So you've always been comfortable with singing. Is that how you discovered that you can sing? Or did you, because I hear a lot of people say, singers in particularly, that they just thought everybody could sing when they were little singing. Is that?
That is actually true. I kind of thought that it was something that people just did. But, of course, as you go through life, you hear people who can't really do it that well, and you kind of notice that, okay, well, maybe this really is a gift that I have.
Yeah.
But I will say that I wasn't always comfortable. I was pretty much a person who sang at home. either I sang at home or I sang at church, somewhere that was kind of protected, right? Where I felt like I would get the good claps no matter what.
Right. Like, oh, baby.
right. Let them use you.
Right. Right.
So I kind of stayed in that space for a really long time, and it wasn't really until maybe after high school. I did music all 4 years of high school.
Oh, wow.
Right here at Woodlawn under Miss Heather Colton, who was like the best teacher ever.
Okay. Woodlawn is in Baltimore County for those of you around the world.
Absolutely. And so after that, I went to college, and I really didn't do any singing, up front, outside of church in college. And then at about 2013, at the end of the year, I figured, I need to get out there a little bit more, because I felt like I wasn't passionate about what I was doing, during my full time. So I said, well, I need an outlet. I need something that's going to rejuvenate me.
So what were you doing full time?
Right now I'm an electrical engineer.
Okay.
So
educated woman.
Yes.
All right.
Morgan State University.
Love it. I went 1 year at Morgan. I transferred, but yeah.
That's all right.
I still got, you know.
Still have a bond.
Right. I still like the blue and orange.
Exactly. So 2013, I started going to Warm Wednesdays.
Okay.
Walter Maxfield Jones, the longest running open mic that's been around
in Baltimore.
So I started there. It was a great platform for me to just practice. I didn't know any of the people there.
And the crowds are great.
They are. They can be great and tough.
Yeah.
Because they don't really give you any emotion a lot of times,
They're
right?
just looking at you like,
unless it's their song.
That's
yeah,
why they do the open mic. I told you. That's why I go, because they will judge you.
Right.
But that's good for your growth.
It really is, because I've always been told that when you're up there, you're naked.
Yeah.
So once you get up there, you might as well give it all you got, because you're already up there. So it really doesn't matter too much about what the people say back to you. I always feel when it's right. So it's not even about if the notes are right or things like that.
Is it about the look or the vibe in the place?
It is. It's really about the energy that's really in the place. And if I feel like there is a connection, even with one person, then I'm like, okay, I did my job.
Right. And with any artist or anybody that's trying to move someone, if you find that one person or you feel that connection, that's really all it takes.
Absolutely.
It's not, because you can't please everyone.
No, you can't.
Your gift is not for everyone.
That's
but
true.
that person, just like, and LaToya's here today, the Greater Purpose with LaToya, she's here today. And just like I'm sure with her singing, and she preaches also.
Okay.
So you can't touch everybody. But you can see the people that you affect and people that you move. I had the pleasure of listening to LaToya, and I posted it on my Facebook, preach last weekend. Okay. So it was a powerful thing. So when you can really touch someone.
Right.
As we were talking about earlier before the show, the world is small. Shout out to Kill. If you're watching, I saw your repost also.
Yes,
we know someone else in common, a friend of mine that I've known for years, before I even knew he was part of the circuit, because there's a small circuit of artists, spoken word singers, writers, performers, because there are a lot of different spots. For those of you who aren't in Baltimore, there are a lot of different spots where you can get that vibe, some good singing, some good music, a lot of talent, a lot of talent here in Baltimore. And as I told you, I used to go to those. I told you I do poetry probably since I was like 2 or 3 years old. I have books and books, but I've never performed.
Right.
Never performed. So he used to always try to get me to perform, but he was excited when he realized I knew you. Yeah. And that was just an accident, even knowing that.
Right.
Then I found out she knew another guest I had. So it's a small world.
It really is.
A small community.
I just like how everything just kind of comes full circle and how the universe really works.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I really believe in a whole lot, is that if you put that energy out there for the things that you want to happen and you focus on it, those things will happen.
Yeah.
And
I'm a firm believer of that.
In the last 2 years, that's what I did. I listened to the book called The Power by Rhonda Byrne, and I would put that on repeat because I noticed, we call it.
You had the audio, the cassette.
I had the audio, because
I love listening
I'm
to
like
those.
ADD, so I can't sit down and read the whole book the whole time. but I would play it in my car because I'm always in my car. I'm always driving somewhere. So those are the things that I like to feed myself with, because unless you're like continuously feeding yourself with the things that you need, you can't give people what they need, you know, in my music or anything else, for that matter. So
you're absolutely right. And then when you hear something repetitively, it sinks in.
Absolutely.
So I'm an avid reader. I like to open up a book, but I also like to get my mind stimulated verbally also. So listening to cassettes on, well, I said cassettes, that's old school. That's when I started listening in the car. I don't have no cassette deck in my car now, but on CD, I'll just say audio. And now with iTunes, you can download anything.
Right.
So, and like you said, if you don't fill yourself, then you can't give to others. I'm a firm believer of that as well.
Absolutely.
And it's just, so I wanted to ask you, how important is music in your life? Like in your everyday life? Because it sounds pretty significant if you wake up singing, sing through the day, go to bed singing.
Yeah, absolutely. Music, whatever I listen to can tell you my mood.
Okay. So so let's talk about an up mood. What do you listen to?
A up mood is everything fast, from you know, Beyonce to Kendrick Lamar. Like before I got here, I'm like, let me put my war music on.
Okay, so what's your war music? Kendrick Lamar?
Usually like Kendrick Lamar, Jay-Z, something that gets me like feeling like I'm on top of the world.
Like you're ready to step out on stage.
Absolutely.
Like you're getting, you know, your fighting music.
That's right.
Okay. All right. So when you're mellow and you just want to chill, what do you listen to?
Right. And so that's like my normal zone. So that's usually Jill Scott, India Ari, Emile LaRue, excuse me.
Yeah.
A lot of jazzy type artists. Gretchen, I can't remember her last name.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I can't think of her last name too.
Awesome. And they're just very chill, but they give you exactly what you need.
Yeah.
So that's really kind of where I like to stay.
Emile LaRue is very chill.
I just like peace. Like that is the most important thing for me in life, period. No matter what is happening, like I need to be peaceful on the inside.
Right. So when you're having a rough day, is that the same type of music you listen to, or is it something different?
Yeah, I listen to that, but I also listen to calming meditation music too.
Okay. What, like the ocean and
absolutely
the wind?
I sure do.
Chimes.
I have
Okay.
to.
A lot of people go to sleep to that.
I do.
I mean, somebody is buying it. They got a whole section in Target.
I put my Pandora on. I put it on the shelf on the side, and I blast it.
And you like this, so that wind is like really rumbling.
I am in the ocean at night.
Okay. So when you're sad,
oh God,
don't say Sade like everybody.
But I love Sade. I do, but you know, I typically when I'm sad, I don't like to stay there.
No.
So I kind of still move towards those kind of chill. Jazzy feel, or something that's like medium tempo, so I can kind of like it's like a ramp going up, like an escalator.
Because sadness is a pit stop. You're not supposed to live there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, sometimes I'll find the right song that fits the moment, but
because sometimes songs keep you there.
Absolutely.
Sometimes like they just keep you in that type of space.
Right.
So
and then you get mad, and then you're listening to Lil Wayne.
Because you don't want to be crying all day, you know.
Exactly.
Is it something that you see yourself pursuing? Because you said you're an electrical engineer, which is impressive. Morgan is huge. For those of you that don't know, or young people, if you're watching, Morgan is huge, and it puts out a lot of professional engineers of all types of engineers. They have an excellent engineering program, so shout out to the Bears.
Right, absolutely. Number one in Maryland for African American engineers.
It's a lot of African American engineers. They can give their thanks because they earn that. And I'll say earn. I was going to say give them, but you earn that.
You definitely earn it.
You earn it. Yeah, I'm in school now, and every time I get an A, I'm like, they didn't give me nothing. Because, honey, getting the hour or two of sleep, I earn that.
That's right.
Yeah, but so you were saying, I'm sorry.
Oh, so full-time, absolutely. And those are the things that are always on my mind every day.
How can you be a professional full-time artist?
How can you be? How do you make that transition from, you know, depending solely on a 9 to 5 and, you know, being comfortable and, you know, having your benefits and having that check, you know, come in, and, you know, transitioning to where you work really grind for every single thing.
But think about it. You grind for someone else now.
Absolutely.
And I think the second show I did, it was about entrepreneurship. It was about taking a leap of faith and just pursuing your passion and doing what you love. But you work hard for other people.
And that's so true. I was sitting at my desk earlier this week, and I was thinking about it, and I actually talked to one of my good friends on the phone, and he was probably the fifth person who brought to mind that, at some point in your life, you have to make a jump. Mm-hmm. And some people take calculated jumps. Some people just say, forget it, I'm gone.
No parachute jump.
Right, no parachute. But at the same time, I feel like everything is a choice, right? Mm-hmm. Just like you said, I work for someone else. Most people work for someone else. And we make that conscious choice every day to do that. Yeah. So it's really not as hard as we think it is. Mm-hmm. It's just in our mind, we're just like, okay, am I ready for this? Am I confident enough to stand on my own and do this thing that I say that I want to do?
And knowing that God has your back.
Absolutely.
Because I always talk about it. Everyone talks about, I have faith. But do you? Like, has it ever been tested or proven? Mm-hmm. Because we all say that.
That's true.
But that's just like, and I can't even think of the quote directly, Martin Luther King's quote about the stair steps and talking about faith, and you just step down.
Exactly.
You don't know if there's another stair there, but you're going to step down and just take that leap of faith, and that's hard to do.
It is.
Because as humans, we're supposed to give it all to God.
Right.
And we're supposed to let him do his thing. Mm-hmm. But we give it to him, we take it back. We give it to him, we take it back. We give it to him. But if we try to just give it to him and go on about our business, then some powerful things might happen. But that's hard to do. That's scary.
It is hard to do. So I have a quick story about just that scenario.
Okay.
I moved to Washington State in 2008.
And you're from Baltimore?
I am. Okay. I'm from Baltimore originally, born and raised. Lived a little bit in PG County for a while, but moved right back to Baltimore. Okay. But I moved about a year after college. I wanted to take like a year off to kind of, detox a little bit.
Why Washington State?
So I did Washington State because I said that whatever job would allow me to relocate and pay for it, I was going. Okay. So I didn't care where it was. Okay. I'm just like, I'm going to go. So I got hired. They paid for my relocation and everything. And I spent about 3 years out there.
Oh, wow.
Now, it wasn't like city living like I'm used to. It was very, very, very slow, very rural town. Great people, but it just wasn't what I needed at that time. So I was wrestling with myself about, do I leave? Do I stay? What is my family going to say about it? They're going to say, you had this good job. Why do you want to leave? But at the end of the day, there's a few things that I learned about that, is that you have to have your own mind. You have to trust your instinct. You have to trust God. I mean, at the end of the day, I told my friend at the time, I said, I'm leaving. I'm going to quit my job.
Your boyfriend?
So, yeah, he was a boyfriend at the time.
The reason why I said that is because, and I'm just going to real quick, you said friend. When I moved to Baltimore, that had me so confused. Yeah. Because Baltimoreans call their significant other their friend.
Yeah, it just all
It's
depends.
really weird to me. I'm like, is that your friend or
let
your boyfriend?
me correct myself. Okay. So at the time, I was actually previously engaged.
Okay.
So, so he was my fiance at the time. But prior to him coming out to Washington to be with me, I told him, like, I'm really not that happy. I'm ready to go. I'm not sure exactly when, but I know I'm going back home. So it was around my son's birthday, was March 18th, was my last day of work.
Oh, that's my sister's birthday.
Yay. And I had gone through every single option at my job. I looked at different departments. I looked at, can I go back to school? Can I do something different? Can I do something that makes me a little bit happier but stay here? And every single option fell through. So I said, okay.
To stay in Washington?
To stay in Washington. So I said, you know what? I got to go.
Your time was up.
And I didn't have all of my ducks in a row. I had a cute little pot of money, to go across the country. But I didn't have mover money. Like, I didn't have thousands of dollars like they did, to bring me out there. So I went home and I'm like, we're selling all of this stuff and we're packing up this car. I used to sell Mary Kay for a little while.
Oh, I can't see that.
Yeah. I did.
You didn't make it to the pink Cadillac, did you?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. I sold it for a little while, so I had some inventory that my mom had sent me, and I'm like, you know what? For the next month, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna sell all of this stuff so that I can go back and do what I want to do. And that's exactly what I did. So every time I come to that place where I'm teetering on a decision, I'm reminded that I did that before. So this is another level. I mean, a higher pay, but geez. I mean, it's the same faith.
Right.
It's the same exact thing. I just don't know how all the ducks are going to come in a row.
But you don't have to know.
Exactly.
That's the thing. You don't have to know 2 weeks, a month, 6 months down the line. You don't have to know. All you have to know about tomorrow. And then let tomorrow come. And then you worry about the next day. Let the next day come. You let God handle that. You just live each day.
Absolutely.
And then next thing you look up and be like, wow, I've been self-employed for a year.
Right.
You know, and that's lovely.
Right. Exactly. So that's actually it's where it's going to come to.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have any dates or finalizations or anything like that, but it is a constant thought because I know that I put my everything into music, and more so, you know, this year because I feel a pulling to do it.
Wow.
So
is this the first time that you like gone hard, like pursuing your music?
Absolutely.
In 2015?
Yeah.
That's
I think
awesome.
in 2014, I was like kind of warming up, going to some different spots, networking, getting to know some other people. So through those relationships and, you know, through that networking, I started getting, you know, featuring appointments. And I think since April 30th of this year, it's just been like overflowing.
Wow.
Overflowing.
Wow.
Like it's actually blowing my mind.
See, but when you take yourself seriously and you know that you have something to give to the world, things, just blessings, just start opening up everywhere. And then I actually, this weekend, I'm sending my book to the publisher, but I have all of that type of advice and different, that just reminded me of that. Just like, just taking that leap and just doing it. And then when you do it and you open yourself up, it's just going to come.
Right.
And like you said, you can't even believe it yourself.
I can't believe I'm here.
I'm glad you're here.
Like, I just always think, you know, I never want to be this person necessarily who, you know, has paparazzi following them all over the place, because I don't feel like that's living.
You don't want the fame.
I don't want that.
You just want the success.
Absolutely. I want the success of knowing that my music can touch anybody around the world. I don't care where you are. I want to be able to be like timeless.
And these days that can happen.
Absolutely.
Before it was market based.
Right.
Where are you, you know, local artists, or are you this? But now with the internet and technology, people all over the country, different continents, can know your music and know who you are and be moved by it. So you are a singer and a songwriter. Which do you prefer better?
Of course,
because I know you're both you're married to both. You love that, and you have something to say. So you're a writer,
right?
But you like singing.
Yeah, I like singing more.
Okay,
but that's kind of up until this point.
Yeah,
I think songwriting is something that I'm gradually growing into a lot more. Because when I was younger, I used to write kind of just like you. I would write a whole lot of stuff. I would tell no one anything. So it was just time, just right around that time when I just started opening up and coming out. It was just like, all right, let me try some of this stuff. Yeah. Let me see if some of the things that I'm going through and I'm experiencing that someone else is experiencing. Because I believe wholeheartedly that a lot of us kind of sit back and we say, you know, nobody else is going through this or nobody's going to understand. But that's not true.
Oh, they are. And they need your voice to say that. Exactly. So they know that they're not alone.
Exactly.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, I am a songwriter too, so I get it. And everybody has something to say. And a lot of times I don't promote myself as this, that, and the other. Yeah. And that's just a normal thing. Right. You kind of hide it, you know, to yourself. And I think I posted a song that that someone recorded that I wrote, and people were like, "Oh, I didn't know you." And it was like a couple years ago, and no one even knew. People that know me then was like, "I didn't know you did that."
Isn't that crazy? I actually sang at my grandfather's funeral on my father's side. And my family on my father's side was like,
they didn't know you could sing?
I didn't know you could sing. But, you know, over time and over the years, we had my parents separated when we were younger, so there was just a lot of stuff happening. I just assumed everybody knew because my mom sings, my dad sang.
So, and I was going to ask you that. So, singing is in your blood.
Absolutely,
everyone can sing.
Right.
Normally, when that one person can sing, you got the mama or the aunt or the father. So you have a house full of singers.
Right.
You grew up in a house full of singers.
My mom sang.
Who was the better singer?
My mom.
Okay, all right. Yeah, if your mom is watching, you better have said that.
I know. Hi. No, but she always sang, and we always knew all of her songs that she would sing, and we would play around and practice with her and stuff like that. So I mean, that's where we got the love for it.
What type of songs did she sing around the house?
Well, it was mostly gospel songs, and at that time, gosh, it was like the 80s. I mean, it was like older church music, like Sandy Patty.
I'm mad you said
like
the
that.
80s, older. Okay,
I'm
gonna let that slide.
I was like one.
Right. Well, I'm gonna really let that slide because I wasn't one. In the 80s, I was in high school.
Right. So we were younger, but I mean, looking back, it was like present during that time. But
so
looking
back,
there was a lady. She used to sing a lot of gospel music, kind of like a very high soprano.
Okay.
But her name was Sandy Patty. And she would sing songs like "We Shall Behold Him" and things like that. And Vicky Winans, like all of those singers, we used to listen to the Winans all of the time.
One of my favorite songs is by the Winans. A Million Didn't Make It, but I'm one of the ones who did. Every time I hear that, like, I'm like almost tearing up now. It sounds so crazy, but that's like a powerful song. So you were listening to some good music.
Yeah, Commission, Fred Hammond.
Oh yeah,
as a 90s came in.
yeah.
So I mean, and those are the things that stick with you. At the time,
because there was a message in the music, and the message always sticks with you. If there's a positive message, or sometimes even a negative message, if it's a message, it sticks with you.
It's true.
Yeah, so is that important to you in your music?
Absolutely. So everything I write, I try to give you something personal from me, right? So it's something that I've experienced, and even when I do music that's not mine, I like to do things that I can actually feel and understand, because otherwise,
and then you can relate to.
Right, because otherwise I can't give you all of me when I'm singing.
Yeah. Because you can perform the heck out of it if you feel it. It's almost as if you wrote it.
Right.
You feel the same way? Yeah. I'm asking Latoya because she sings also.
Yeah. So that's what I typically do. And a few songs that I've written so far it's usually about, it was about a breakup I had before, but it was just getting everything down on paper and being able to hear myself, acknowledge it, but let it go.
Yeah.
So I want people to feel like healing when they listen to my music, like, okay, that was me. Somebody else did that, but they got over it. They got through it.
Right. So that's the message in your music you want to kind of inspire,
something
uplift.
I like affirmations.
Me too.
I like you saying things to yourself that you want to hear. Like, there's a lot of music out there that has you saying stuff to yourself that you just shouldn't say to yourself at all. And
people twerking to it and doing their thing. I'm like, did you know they just called you a hoe? Like, did you realize in the middle of that?
We all do it at some moment, right? We could be out there and the beat gets us, but when you sit down and listen to it, it's like, that's really not what I think of myself.
Right. And you don't want to feed yourself that, some of it, and I don't want to offend anybody and say garbage, but to me, a lot of it is garbage, because if you're not saying anything and you got a hot beat, then okay, the hot beat will be good for a minute, but then when somebody grows up and really listens to the lyrics, that's not timeless music,
right?
That, certain with a message and a positive message, and you're touching somebody's spirit. It doesn't necessarily have to be gospel to touch someone's spirit,
right?
Or to touch their core, because like you said, if you're going through something and somebody is saying that, it's so funny because I needed to hear this message in the morning when I'm driving to work. I usually listen to the Tom Joyner morning show because they have me laughing. But it was a commercial, and typically I just, during the commercials, I, have my thoughts and do my thing. I really don't turn the station.
Right.
And this morning I turned the station to the Steve Harvey morning show, and I call him my little husband. My little husband is Kirk Franklin. He's a fly little dude. That's my boy right there. Shout out Kirk Franklin. But he premiered his new song. I Want to Be Happy. When I tell you, it was like his songs do that to me. The first time I heard I Smile,
that's
like that did that. I mean, and that, have you heard that I Want to Be Happy? It just launched today. Radio just started playing this on iTunes today. It's called I Want to Be Happy. That thing right there, It made me but it makes you think because it questions. And I don't have the lyrics down because I only heard it once. And I said I was going to go back and listen. But it's asking you questions like, you want to be happy? What are you doing? Don't worry about it. Let God worry about it. I mean, the way it is and the whole melody and the words to that, that's going to touch somebody 50 years from now.
And that's conscious music.
Yes.
So a lot of stuff that and that's not everything. A lot of things that are on the radio now
it's for the moment.
Not conscious.
It's for the moment.
At all.
It's for the moment.
At all. So another person who came to mind is Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill put out a fabulous album.
Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Absolutely.
And how old is that? And people still talk
years.
about that, and people still are inspired. It just had its 20th anniversary. You are absolutely correct. And people are still playing it like it came out yesterday.
Right.
That's timeless.
Right, because she speaks to situations that will never go away.
Yeah. And it's funny because when she wrote that, it was what she was going through.
Yep.
So just like you said, when you're going through something, look how many people she's still relating to.
Right.
People that aren't even 20 years old.
Yeah.
And it came out 20 years ago.
Right.
How old are you if I'm
30.
asking? Okay, so you were 10 years old. You
Right.
weren't going through that then.
No, but it was
you
good,
going
though.
through it now, right? You know, and just a lot of it.
Right.
When you listen to it, I'm thinking about the playlist in my head of the songs. Like each song, you can play that through and through.
Right.
And that's when you know it's good music. When you get a CD or you download it and you don't have to skip nothing. You just let it ride.
That's so interesting. I was in the studio the other night with my producer. Shout out to Maurice Carroll and Stinky Face Music.
Shout out Stinky Face.
You're right. I told him that. I said, I just want music that people can just put on repeat and not even be conscious that it's on repeat.
We gotta hook up.
It's so good that you just want to keep listening and keep listening. And I won't.
And you
stop.
like, dang, I listened to that 10 times in a row.
Right. And I don't want people to skip it. I don't want people to say, oh, I don't want to hear that and come back to it. You know, because I do that with CDs too. And then end up loving
CDs,
it. Right.
You have one song.
Right.
That's terrible to me.
Exactly.
Like, how do you, as an artist, you want people to support your music, you have something to say, and you putting out 15 tracks of garbage, and you got about one or two that's saying something. To me, that can't be your best. You're not really trying to do anything other than sell CDs. That's what that's telling me.
Yeah.
Or you got the wrong people producing and writing, and that's a whole nother story.
Right.
But so that's the type of CD you want to just play all the way through. Have you done any recording?
I have.
Oh, okay. So do you have a mixtape or compilation CD or anything?
Not yet. I'm working on my first EP.
Okay.
So I always say, I hope it's done this year, but I'm just going to let time take its time, to be honest with you.
And I know what an EP is, but tell the people that don't know.
So basically, it's just a shorter version of an album. It only has about maybe 6 or 7 cuts on it. But it's going to be all original music. I'm in the midst of finishing some other songs. I just wrote another song the other day that I was really proud of.
And you should be.
I know. It's just amazing, really, just to see all of this stuff come together.
Because they're like your babies.
They are.
When you write something, and you're attached to that.
Exactly, because it's my heart, my thoughts, my feelings, and I'm like offering it to the audience, and it's like, what do you think?
Right, because it's almost like asking somebody to accept you.
Yes.
In a sense.
That's exactly
because
what
it's very personal when you write lyrics, whether it's a song, a poetry, a book, anything. When you write something from your heart, you're asking people to accept you naked.
Right.
And we know everybody's not perfect or pretty naked, and that's the same with our work.
Right.
You know, what did Erykah Badu say? I'm sensitive about my ish.
Exactly.
You know?
That's exactly what she said.
And that's how it is. All right, so going back, as far as you want to go, and when you think about music and you think about growing up, or even now, what was that one song that inspired you? Like that just, no matter how many times you hear it, no matter how many years pass, every time you hear that song, it just does something to you.
I would have to say it's actually Donnie McClurkin.
Which one?
Stand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And out of the millions
That's a powerful
of songs
song
that there are, I can just remember so many instances in life where I just felt like rock bottom. And there was like no way to really get out of that situation. And just hearing that song just does something to my spirit.
And the way he sings it.
Absolutely.
It's so funny because anybody that knows me knows Girlfriends is my favorite show. I keep the DVD on deck, like all 8 seasons. I've had them for years. And on Girlfriends, Donnie McClurkin was on there, and he was singing Stan. I'll briefly tell you. So Tony and Joan were having an issue, and she was kind of trying to move herself away from Tony because she was that toxic friend.
Right.
So they all went to church. And look, Latoya's laughing at me because I will get into this. I will break Girlfriends down to you. So they all went to church. And Joan was like, dang, Tony, I can't even have church to myself. And they were like, how selfish can you be? So she sat on the other side. Tony, Maya, and Lynn were on this side. And Donnie McClurkin started preaching like he does in the song. And he started preaching, and he started singing that song on Girlfriends, honey. When I tell you, every time I see the episode, it moves me. And then it was almost like they were moved, like they weren't even acting. And they went up to the altar, honey. Did you see that episode? Honey, that's a good episode. I would say I'll let you hold my DVD, but that's something I don't do.